Good Monday morning. It is May 25th, Memorial Day. Hopefully you are enjoying a nice long holiday weekend. We did see some storms yesterday evening. Even a couple of storms lingered through this morning, but luckily most of you should have had a dry commute, although I know that there were very few folks out on the roadways. But let's talk a little bit more about those storms last night. There were a couple of warnings, and the main thing we saw was small hail. Check out some pictures and video from yesterday. That is a great photo, and there you can see some pocket change size hail, pea size. I really like what our anchor Morgan Wolf said, gumdrop size hail in New Ulm. In fact, I think New Ulm saw the biggest hail out of anybody. So a lot of these storms were just kind of on the cusp, just barely breaking that threshold of being severe. You can see more of that pea-size hail there in that video. And I also want to give a big thank you to everybody who shared their videos and photos with us, whether that was directly on social media or by email or on our That's So Minnesota Facebook page. It's a great resource if you're wanting to know what it looks like across the state when we have storms forming. And it's also a great resource for us to know what it looks like outside when we are tracking those storms. I know that meteorologist Jamie Cagle was here last night tracking all of that for you. Here's the sunrise from this morning, a really pretty view. You can see the clouds, got some movement there. But as of this hour, if you're turning on the Kare 11 app, we don't really have many clouds left. It's going to be a nice sunny day. Sun came up early this morning, 5:34, and it's going to go down late. 8:46 is the time of our sunset for this Memorial Day evening. So that gives us a long day of daylight. Total day length 15 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds. And here we go. This is the satellite radar as of a little bit after 8 a.m. this morning. Mainly clear skies across Minnesota. Now, I know that Cece Gaines mentioned to me that on her way in this morning, she actually saw a little bit of lightning. And that makes sense because if you were driving north along, say, 35 this morning, there was a little cluster of storms just to the north of the Twin Cities. This was really early. I'm talking 3, 4 a.m. So if you weren't up then, you wouldn't have seen the rain or any storms. But one thing you probably have noticed if you're getting up, getting moving on this holiday is it's warmer than it was yesterday morning on our Sunday. And this is something that I noticed because we have our Sunday morning show, and I was out in the backyard yesterday morning, and I know a couple of y'all made fun of me for having a coat on and saying it was brisk, but it did feel a little bit chilly yesterday morning. I know that lower 50s are kind of the name of the game this time of year, but I was a little bit cold. So needless to say, I appreciated this change in temperatures. We were warmer than yesterday from anywhere from 8 to even as much as 20 degrees. So thankful for that. Memorial Day forecast. It is a good one. Again, we talked about the sunrise already, came up early, 5:34. We had winds out of the south this morning, very gentle. We'll continue that southerly breeze into our afternoon. Pretty much all day long, there will be a light breeze. You'll barely notice it. What you will notice is the sun beating down and those temperatures heating up. So today is a day to hit the pool, maybe the park, have a barbecue. I know that there's some parades going on. Just make sure you are doing something to take some time and make today meaningful. It is an important day since so many folks do give their lives so that we can have our freedom and so that we can have barbecues and long weekends and all of that. So it is more than just a long weekend. Here's today's forecast. 87 in the Twin Cities. Looks good to me. 89 in St. Cloud, 88 in Brainerd, even Bemidji getting in on those mid to upper 80s. Some folks out to the west and southwest could see some low 90s today. But I think that for the Twin Cities, our 90s are on the way for tomorrow. And keep in mind, we have not hit 90 yet this year. The warmest we've been is 88 degrees. That happened on May the 15th. So if we hit 90 tomorrow, it would be our warmest day of the year so far. No severe weather to talk about for the Twin Cities tonight. There is a very low end risk. It's called a marginal when it's a level 1 out of 5. We've got that for the Arrowhead, so Grand Marais, that area there. We also have that level 1 marginal risk south of Mankato through Laverne and Jackson, really just that southwestern pocket of the state. It's not likely that you see severe weather, but it is possible. And if those storms do develop, they'll probably be pretty similar to what we saw last night. So those of you that saw the gusty winds, a brief downpour, some of that pocket change, gumdrop change size hail or gumdrop size hail, that's kind of what you can expect to see tonight if these storms pan out. So here's microcast. Mind the timestamp here. This is tonight around 7:30. You're seeing some storms may be developing right around Grand Marais, so you may need to bring the barbecue inside. If you hear lightning, if you see lightning, if you hear thunder, there we go. That's when you want to bring things inside. For those of you in southwestern Minnesota, it'll happen a little bit later. So chances are you get through today, you're able to enjoy your outdoor activities without any problems. But a little bit closer to midnight, maybe even 1 a.m., that's when some storms are popping up, at least on this model of the microcast. As we wake up tomorrow morning, it should be mild. I'm expecting comfortable temperatures in the mid and upper 60s for our Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, we're turning the heat on big time. 90 degrees is my forecast for the Twin Cities. And then this is what happens. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword here. If you like the warmth, great. Just know that as we turn up the heat, we can also tend to destabilize the atmosphere. So we call these diurnal thunderstorms, meaning with the heat of the day, we could get some of this activity developing. Look, you can see here it's mostly along and to the south of 94, and this is going to be tomorrow evening. Some of this could impact the Twin Cities. Notice this is about 10:30 tomorrow evening, and we have a lonely cell there rolling through the metro. I will say that at this time, Monday morning, the Storm Prediction Center has not issued any risk for severe weather for Tuesday or for Wednesday, but both those days, rain and storms will be possible during the afternoon and evening because of that warmth. As far as rain totals go, it's not going to be anywhere near a washout, but we do need this rainfall, even if it's only a few hundredths of an inch. And that's really all that this model is wanting to put in, is a few hundredths of an inch by tomorrow night. So again, the breakdown is this. Today, it's going to be gorgeous, very warm, mid to upper 80s. And then for northern Minnesota, mainly the Arrowhead, as well as that southwestern pocket of the state, some storms are possible during this afternoon and evening. Tomorrow and Wednesday, a couple of the hottest days of the year so far. That's looking very possible. Tuesday will probably be the hottest with a high near 90, and then both Tuesday and Wednesday, rain and storms will pop up, most likely during the afternoon and evening. They're not expected to be severe, but I would just be prepared to change your plans if need be Tuesday and Wednesday. Today, it'll be hot, 87. Now tonight into tomorrow morning, very mild, mid 60s. Some isolated storms possible in the afternoon and evening. A high of 90. If that checks out, Tuesday would be the warmest day of the year so far. And then Wednesday, if that checks out, well, it would come in second place, 89, with again a chance for rain and storms during the evening. Otherwise, should be a nice clear day for our holiday. Looking ahead, 78 by 11 o'clock, 82 by 1, 85 by 3. We keep on warming up all the way through the 5 o'clock hour, 87. And I think that is where we land today for a high in the Twin Cities. 87 degrees. We'll go 88 in Menominee, 85 in Hayward, even the Arrowhead getting into the 70s today. We love it. 71 there, 85 in International Falls, 86 Grand Rapids, 86 Thief River Falls, 90s for those of you in Moorhead, Ortonville, Marshall, and Laverne. Laverne, you could see a storm pop late tonight, but if you're here in the metro, I don't expect any storms for today. We've got sunshine all the way through nightfall. We keep the skies clear all the way through the midnight hour. And look at this, at midnight, we should still be in the mid 70s. Fast forwarding into tomorrow, likely going to be the warmest day of the year so far, 90 in the Twin Cities. But even though it's going to be likely the warmest day of the year so far, It is far from a record breaker. I was looking at the records for tomorrow and Wednesday, and they're a little bit closer to the century mark, which would be 100 degrees. So no records are going to be broken on our Tuesday, but nonetheless, it will be toasty. 90 in the Twin Cities, 90 in Mankato, 88 Rochester, 90 in Menominee, 88 in St. Cloud. Same with Brainerd, 87 in Grand Rapids. Low 90s continue from Moorhead through Ortonville, Marshall, Jackson, and Laverne. And over the next 5 days, it stays toasty. Tuesday is the warmest. Wednesday's not far behind. Thursday, we're still in the mid 80s. Friday, lower 80s. Saturday, 81. Even then, that is nearly 10 degrees hotter than the average high this time of year, which is 72. So while we technically do cool down, you won't need to put away your bathing suit or anything like that. Pools are open and you can hit the pool all week if you want to. Even looking at the next 6 to 10 days, this takes us just beyond the 7-day. It is looking like we will continue to see warmer than normal high temperatures and low temperatures for all of Minnesota, but especially so for the Twin Cities all the way up to the international border. Now, at the same time, it's looking like we are going to see most likely drier than normal conditions. Now, I always try and clarify here by saying that this doesn't mean that it won't rain at all. It just means that we'll probably see drier than normal conditions. In fact, we're already seeing that. But June is just around the corner. That tends to be an active month. It also tends to be a little bit of a wetter month. So we see more storms, more severe weather, and just kind of more rain in general. So here are some June dates that stick out to me. June 1st is the start of meteorological summer, and as of this morning, that's only a week away. June 1st is also the start of Atlantic hurricane season. Now, June 12th, that is 18 days away as of today's date. That is when we see our first sunset at 9 o'clock in the evening. So after June 12th, all of our sunsets are going to happen after 9 o'clock, at least for a good couple of months or so. So we are getting plenty of daylight as those sunsets happen later and sunrises happen earlier. Now on June 21st, speaking of day length, that is going to be the longest day of the year. It's also called the summer solstice or the start of astronomical summer. 27 days until that happens. As for today, sunset tonight is going to be at 8:46 in the evening, giving us a very solid 15 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds of daylight. Here is your 7-day forecast. Today is Memorial Day. I hope you get out there and enjoy it, whatever your plans may be, whether it's barbecuing, whether it's the pool. I know that there's some parades happening today. Probably plenty of libations as well. So please stay hydrated, wear your sunscreen, wear a hat, wear the sunglasses. You get the idea. 87 today, tomorrow even hotter, most likely our hottest day of the year. 90 for a high, 65 for a morning low, a chance of some isolated storms during the afternoon and evening. Wednesday, pretty similar, mid-60s in the morning, 89 during the heat of the day, with additional chances for rain and storms during the evening. I think that Thursday we dry out, but we stay pretty toasty, mid-80s for your afternoon highs. Friday, a little bit cooler. It's kind of funny to say cooler considering we're still in the 80s and certainly still above average. Our average high is 72. And then next weekend will be gorgeous. Those, I would say, are the Goldilocks temperatures that we all love. Not too warm, not too cool. 81 on Saturday, 80 on Sunday. And by Sunday, our average high gets up to 74. So we'll still be above average, but by about 6 degrees rather than 10 degrees. One more time, I want to take you through your event forecast if you've got those Memorial Day plans. We woke up to mid-60s this morning. It was very, very comfortable with those light southerly winds, and it will continue to be comfortable through mid to late morning. Then it'll start to get toasty, so we're going to shed the layers later this afternoon as highs make their way up into the mid and upper 80s, not just here in the Twin Cities, not just for southern Minnesota, but all the way up to the international border. High temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s. Speaking of northern Minnesota, there is a marginal risk for severe weather in the Arrowhead today. We also have that marginal risk down to our southwest for places like Laverne and Jackson. So late tonight, storms may develop and they could have some gusty winds, some downpours, and a little bit of hail. We also have a chance for afternoon showers and storms as we make our way through tomorrow and Wednesday. But the main character this week is going to be heat.